All right, recording starting. All right, let's do some yin tonight. I'm sitting on a little blanket, so make yourself comfortable. If you want to stretch your legs out, put a blanket around you, whatever it is to make yourself a little bit more comfortable today. So let's just take a few moments, close our eyes, and just settle into our space. Just noticing how we're sitting. Are we feeling balanced? We're relaxing our shoulders. Feeling a little bit of energy moving up and down the spine as we get a little taller in our posture. We'll begin with the chant of Om, and we'll recite our invocation together, and then we'll do a little breath work. So clearing the throat, relaxing the face and the jaw. Let's inhale together. Repeating after me, may I be free from fear and harm. May I be content as I am. May I be at peace with whatever comes. So as you bring your hands to a comfortable space, I'm going to work on a little bit of breath and breath retention today. So just start with your regular deep diaphragmatic breath. Inhaling through the nose, feeling the diaphragm expand, and exhaling through the nose, feeling it contract. You're ready to add the next level. At the end of your inhalation, let's hold the breath for the count of 3. exhale as long as you can. And just do that a couple more times. See if these next couple of breaths you can increase the retention to the count of 5. Feeling the breath move up into the upper lung, so you feel like chest is expanding as you hold the retention. The next exhale, just return to a normal breath. Let's add one more piece to the puzzle. I'm going to take our right hand, use your thumb to close off the right nostril. And so let's inhale through the left. Hold the breath at the end of the inhale to the count of 3 or 5, whichever you feel comfortable with. And then close that left nostril and exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Retaining the breath for as long as you want. Closing it off and exhaling through the left. Inhaling through the left. Retaining the breath. Closing it off, exhaling right. Let's just do that for about a minute on your own. If you feel uncomfortable with any part of the breath, just stop, relax, and breathe on your own. You have about 30 more seconds. Whichever side you exhale, just release the practice and find a normal breath. So let's gently move into our first posture today. We're going to do a twist. So let's take that right leg out to the side. So you can have a blanket or bolster over here by your hip in case you want to relax onto it. Otherwise, we can just relax onto the floor, which I think you guys are pretty good at. So let's take a nice deep breath in. Just begin to twist to your left, noticing all the movement here in the body. And we'll just, when you're feeling like you want to, we'll just walk the elbows, forearms down to the mat. So if this is too easy for you, then just keep walking the hands behind you until you come into a deeper twist. Nice. You can let your head relax on a block or on the mat, wherever it feels good. You would like the forehead to relax on something so you feel a little bit of release through the neck. Nice. All right, let's make the posture nice and still. And just keep breathing, relaxing into the pose. Trying to stay present. Let's take a nice deep breath in. And then we begin to unwind from the side. When you're ready to release the legs, let's go to the other side. All right, taking a nice deep breath in as we twist to the right. Watch the shoulders. Are we relaxing the shoulders? Are we bringing them up towards the ears? Try to relax them. Deep diaphragmatic breath as you fold and come down onto the forearms or wherever you can today on this side. Again, making allowances, nice for this side of the body. So if you can go a little deeper, walk your arms back. And noticing maybe a little bit of the side body here. From the rib cage to the waist. Can we breathe into there and really allow ourselves to release? Let's slowly unwind from this side. I'm going to do a forward fold on each side, but I'm going to do a little differently. So we're going to start with that right leg extended and just bring that left foot close in towards the thigh somewhere. I don't think you guys need it, but if you need a block or anything underneath your knee to support, you can do that. Also, maybe a bolster or anything underneath your belly to support that in your forward fold. Let's just walk out. Adjusting a little bit, so bringing our sit bones back, torso forward, and then slowly just feel that lower back. If it's tight and aching, maybe we need to bend this knee a little bit to get it comfortable. Otherwise, pressing both legs towards the floor as much as you can. Your head doesn't rest on something this time, we can just tuck our chin in towards the chest and let the neck be heavier if it feels good for the body. So as you start to feel the hamstring back of the leg, or maybe even calf, low back, I'm going to do about half the pose here, then I'm going to switch it just a little bit for the rest of the time. So take a few breaths, noticing how you're finding your pose today. Need to make any adjustments, please do. Let's change it up just a little bit in this pose. So this right leg that is straight out in front of me, I'm just going to open it really wide to the side and allow the knee and the foot to kind of just fold in as you bring yourself down to the center. So this, for most of us, will get a nice inner groin stretch here. You can come forward even if this right hip is coming a little bit off the mat to get a deeper stretch. That's okay. Bringing elbows onto a block. This is a harder pose for me, so if you need that, Let's focus our awareness in this right inner groin, maybe even quadricep. Rising up. And as you rise up, let's take a moment, release those legs. All right, as we extend that left leg forward, again, kind of playing with the movement of your body, making sure we're sitting back as far as we can on those sit bones. Right foot is tucked in to begin. Nice. All right, taking a nice deep breath. Let's fold forward on this side. So more of a back of the leg hamstring stretch here. If all of these forward bends are challenging on your low back, don't go down so far, no need. Take your time. And if you're game, let's alter the pose just a little bit by taking that leg way out to the side. And for yin, we'll let that knee and foot maybe come in a little bit, finding that inner groin stretch on this side. Again, if that hip comes off the mat a little bit, it's okay for our yin practice. Slowly rise up. Beautiful. So we've been doing some good forward bends here. So it's probably time to do a little bit of chest opener. So I do a couple of different things today, but we'll first start with a little bit of bridge pose. So we're going to do the supported bridge, of course. You can use a bolster instead of the block. So it's up to you. Obviously, the bolster is a little bit more comfortable on your low back. You could also, if you're using the block, just put a blanket on top of the block. That suffices for me. So remember, when you do this one, we want the low back to be supported on the bolster or the block. So we'll start here. And it's a little bit of a chest opener, but more of an opener for the whole front of the body to begin. And I'm just going to let my arms rest at my sides, maybe a little wider than my body, palms up. So let's see if you can make sure that the shoulders are resting into the mat and that your head and neck feel comfortable. You know, there's always variations to every pose, but if we start here in this position, it's usually a good place for most of us. If you do decide that you can do more, remember you can extend maybe one leg and get a nice stretch through this front hip. And you can do one leg at a time for a little while. Or if you're really feeling good in your low back and want a full complete back bend, because this is really strong on the low back, you can extend both legs out in front. So find what works for you. Again, and start to bring that energy up into the chest. So we feel the belly expand. We move the energy up into the chest, expanding out through the chest, arms, hands, and fingers. So upper body breaths, if you can. All right, so making sure your feet are back on the mat if you've moved them. Carefully take the prop from underneath our low back. And as you bring your back down to the earth, let's draw the knees in towards the chest. So we'll move right into this reverse pigeon pose today. So from here, we'll just take our right foot onto our left thigh. It makes like a little 4 there. Now, some of you, if it's real tight, go ahead and bring your foot to the mat. But if not, we're going to take our hands and through the little space there and draw that left leg towards you. Just soften your feet, soften into the low back. As you draw the leg towards you, make sure you're not leaning too much to the right side. That you've got a nice balance there so you feel a stretch through that right outer hip. Maybe even a little bit through the low back. This is a relatively easy pose. You can also grab onto top knee and draw it in a little bit more. Sometimes that gives you a little bit more stretch. And you can also, if you wanted to go further, take this right hand and press this right leg away from you a little bit as you draw the left one in. So you've got kind of yin yang happening here. So that's always an option as well too. So wherever you are, let the pose become still and the breath become relaxed and comfortable. I hope that was a nice deep stretch on that side. Before we go to the other side, let's just go ahead and straighten our legs up towards the ceiling. Rotate the ankles. Stretch out the toes. All right, and when you're ready, the left foot can come onto the right thigh. And again, you decide where your range of motion is going to be today as you draw that right leg in and just check in with yourself. Relax the feet. Beautiful. As you're drawing that leg in, adjusting not leaning too much to one side, finding that happy medium on this side. Maybe we can get the exhalation just a little bit longer today. Taking a nice deep breath as you unwind that. Maybe stretch the legs up, shake it out a little bit. And for our last pose before Shavasana today, I do want to get a little bit more chest opener. So we're going to take our blanket and we're just going to roll it up nice and tight. You guys know where I'm going with this. Pretty simple. I do it all the time, don't I? Probably pretty predictable, actually. All right, so this is going to go right here underneath the base of the shoulder blades. So before we come down, I'm just going to also show you, I'm going to bring my feet into Baddha Konasana. So if you need some blocks underneath your knees to support your knees, please feel free to do that. And if you want a blanket over your body, To keep yourself warm, we'll go right from here to Shavasana. So it's keeping yourself warm here. All right, so as I come down, the blanket is going to be right at the base of my shoulder blades. So right at the very bottom of the shoulder blades. So that the shoulders are off the mat. I'm sorry, the shoulders are down on the mat. And my neck and head is comfortable as well. So you can place a blanket underneath your head if you need to. So this should allow easy access for your arms to float out to the sides. And I'm just going to gently press the soles of my feet together, making sure my hips are in a correct position and allowing my inner groin and to belly to open. After a little while in this pose, you'll feel that that blanket creates a little bit of release in the base of the shoulder blades and that deep fascia tissue there. That can be kind of tight, especially if you do a lot of downward dog or chaturanga. So don't worry, it will have an effect. So this is a full body breath, okay? So all of this beautiful breath just washing over this front of the body. See if you can feel the deepest breath that you felt all day. Maybe extending all the way out through the crown of the head, back down through the feet, and over the whole entire body. As you mindfully transition to Shavasana today, just allow the legs to come together, maybe stretch out. I advise you to roll to your side. So you can take that blanket out from underneath you and place it on top of you this time. And since it's winter, we've been talking kind of about cocooning for our Shavasana today. So tuck your feet under that blanket. Bringing the blanket all the way up, if you can, over your head, if it feels good. Even tucking your arms underneath. I always keep palms up during all my supine poses, but if you wanted, you can always place your hands on the belly, on the heart, on the earth, wherever you need the palms to rest, to feel most grounded today. There's also a very simple mudra that you see a lot of times in class. The thumb and the first finger together. We do it on both hands. So this is the symbol, the mudra, for wisdom and awareness. So bringing attention really to the third eye center. That's what that beautiful mudra is for. So if it feels good for you, maybe that mudra is part of your Shavasana today. And just check in with your body. Am I holding any tension anywhere? If you are, just gently remind yourself, I do not need to hold this in my body today. Breathe into it and see if you can get it to release. As you begin to awaken back into your evening, maybe with some gentle stretches or a longer breath. Take your time gently rolling to one side. To live with equanimity is to develop an inner life that is independent of whatever circumstances we find ourselves in. What grants us our freedom is not a devaluing of the world around us. It is the understanding that we are not our thoughts. The practice of mindfulness is the first step in this process, teaching us to reflect on the mind rather than to react from it. In time, we come to see the space around our thoughts as being more important than the thoughts themselves, and we learn to rest in that space. The practices of the heart teach us that standing in this space with kindness and compassion is the true practice of yoga, and we let go of the rest. What follows is the ability to welcome whatever each moment brings. Please join me if you're able to come to a comfortable seat as we bring our hands to our heart. A symbol of gratitude and joy, this beautiful mudra, Anahata, the heart center, connecting there with our hands, our breath. And let us chant one final Om together. Deep breath in. Namaste.